To demonstrate Cloud Library Sync, I'm going to jump back to export mode, just because it's a less busy GUI. You know, there's less going on the screen, so we can see a little bit easier what is going on. So what is Cloud Library Sync? This is essentially allowing you to store your audio files and your metadata in the cloud, meaning you can then manage your music you play and your library across multiple devices wherever you are. And this includes laptops, desktop computers, and iOS devices as well. So iPad, iPhone, iPod, there's a mobile app for doing so. So you can also merge libraries if you found yourself in the situation where you have been using two computers and managing two Rekordbox databases. These can now be merged, and you can also use Cloud Library Sync just as a general backup. So safe in the knowledge that all of our Rekordbox information is stored in the cloud and safe and sound, purely backed up. So it's important to know how our files and how our metadata are being managed. So before we set this up and open my page and get it all working, I will just quickly explain the database and the metadata of your Rekordbox tracks will be stored in Pioneer DJ's server. So essentially the Rekordbox cloud. So that includes your playlists, your folders, your tracks, hot cues, cue points, beat grids, any amendments you've made to the track titles, artist name, my tag, etc., ratings. These will all be stored in Rekordbox Cloud, and that's a file that doesn't take up so much space. The audio files will be stored utilizing Dropbox. So it's a Dropbox integration as well. So you will need to have a Dropbox account set up. You will also have to have the Dropbox desktop application installed on the computer that you want to use. And sure, you get 2 gigabytes free with Dropbox as standard with the free of charge account. If you want to utilize more space with Dropbox, you'll have to actually pay for it on the Dropbox website. So let's jump into my page and get this all working. Like I said earlier, you will have to take out the creative plan. So you get a month's free trial with this from PR, and anyone that signs up within the first 3 months after PR will be locked into the discounted rate also. So I have a creative account in play. I've already got this activated. Well, no, I haven't got it activated. I've got it ready, set for activation. So let's go. Once that's done, we can jump to the Library Sync tab, turn on Sync Library with another device, and we're faced with this pop-up window now. So this is just letting us know that if you do have another library on the cloud, this will merge with that. So like I said, if you've got two machines that you plan to merge together, this is how this will happen. So you're then presented with these pop-up windows. Again, just giving us a bit more information as we go through. I'm going to hit OK, hit close. Now, usually I would jump to log in on my Dropbox window here, but I've already done this. So normally this wouldn't say my name here. It would say log in. I'd press that and it would open an Explorer window, which would then ask me to grant access to Dropbox within the Rekordbox framework. However, that's already been done. And as you can see instantly, if I hover my mouse over the Cloud Library Sync icon up here, it tells me the status of the Library Sync. So my metadata is uploading instantly. It's all the information from my tracks, like I said, the cue points, the beat grids, my playlists, my folders, they're all now being uploaded to the cloud. And once this reaches 100%, they will be visible across all of my other devices with Cloud Library Sync activated on. However, the audio files at this stage are not going up. It's important to note that audio files have to be manually uploaded from the original computer. So once this is finished processing, we'll jump onto uploading some audio files. Okay, so I've just paused the video while that was uploading, and in that time, if you're noticing a rearrangement of icons up here, it's because I quit some of the apps that were actually running and reopened them. I also took the time, if I close my page, to but add the new analysis data to all of my tracks. Because I wanted the 3-band waveform to be consistent throughout while I show you my collection across multiple devices, which we're going to do in a minute now. So let me jump back to this playlist and actually go to the second stage of Cloud Library Sync. Like I said, our metadata, the Rekordbox database, has automatically been uploaded. And if I hover over the Cloud Library Sync icon now, you can see Rekordbox library is up to date. This will automatically sync every 30 seconds. However, you can jump onto that and you can press sync now if you wanted to manually sync at any time. Or you can pause sync if there's a lot of information being synced and you needed to pause this for whatever reason, maybe for performance related issues. You could do so, and you can also quit Rekordbox from this icon too. So let's get into it. Let's go through the process. I can right click on a playlist and I can go to Cloud Library Sync, upload, jump to Dropbox. So I'm going to press that and show you the pop-up window that we're presented with next. So we got two options when we're uploading our music to Dropbox. We can choose to move the files from their original source location into the new directory located in Dropbox. So let's say if you stored your music on a desktop folder, this would actually move the tracks from that desktop folder into the new directory. So saving space. There's no need to have duplicates, right? You can also choose to copy the files. So you can duplicate if you want to. Let's say you're using a third-party application that references the audio files in their current location. You might want to avoid moving them, so as not to disrupt your other pieces of software, your other applications. I store all my music in iTunes, which means if I select move, all of my iTunes library that's moved, the tracks that I select to move, will not be playable in iTunes anymore. And that's actually how I intend to work going forward. I'm going to relocate all the tracks in my iTunes library to my Dropbox directory via this process and eliminate iTunes from my workflow completely, because currently I just use iTunes to store the music and then I manage everything inside Rekordbox once it's been brought in. So yeah, I'm going to eliminate iTunes from the process and work this way going forward. Now I'm going to cancel that. I'm not going to upload that whole playlist. I'm going to upload a couple of tracks from the playlist because I want to show you the difference between tracks that have been uploaded and tracks that haven't been uploaded across multiple devices. So let's right click, go to Cloud Library Sync and choose upload, hit Dropbox and press move. Now two things are going to happen. Well, three things. The first thing, I've got one of them tracks loaded into the player window, so I need to unload that. And here we go. So first of all, the cloud icon, the Cloud Library Sync indication icon has changed to a solid cloud. So this means that this track is uploaded to the cloud. If I hover over the other tracks with the broken cloud, this track is stored on this computer, / not uploaded to the cloud / not available for use or playback on any other device. However, these tracks will be. These will now be available for playback on my other devices. If I go up to the top, I'm going to do one more track because I didn't show you the second step. I'm going to upload these two tracks, Cloud Library Sync, Dropbox. I'm going to move them, and straight away the Cloud Library Sync icon changed and it gave me an indication of them tracks were being uploaded. Let's do a few more because it's actually, my internet's working way faster than expected. I want to show you how this looks whilst these tracks are being uploaded. If I hover over this, it will tell me 7 files, 3 files. You can see at the speed of which my internet's running today is it's not normally that fast, but it's a pretty quick process. So in that space of time, I've just uploaded 10 of my tracks to the cloud, and these will now be available for playback across all of the other devices that I've activated my creative plan on. So I'm going to open up and switch my screen to another laptop, and then I'm also going to open up the mobile app and show you how to work on that. But I want to show the reverting back to putting them files back in their original place. So let's choose the bottom two, old Ben Sterling there and Kai Cretan, and right click. It's as simple as it was to upload the tracks to put them back into their original place. So I'm going to choose move to local storage, and what's essentially happening here, let's not use these two tracks, let's use Prom Night and Rambo Move. Right click, Cloud Library Syncs, move to local storage. The cloud has now become a broken cloud again, and these tracks have been moved back into the iTunes music library, iTunes music directory, for use within iTunes again. So yeah, it's a pretty simple process. How I intend to work going forward is I'm going to move everything from my collection to the cloud. Of course, I'm not going to bore you with that in a video, but that is the way I'm going to work after this demo. Okay, so jumping onto the secondary laptop. This is a demo laptop. This isn't my machine. This has been set up purely for using and demoing and testing Cloud Library Sync across a number of laptops. So when I open up Rekordbox, what you're seeing looks essentially like an exact clone of my main machine. That's because I previously went into my page, followed the same process as before. I logged into my Rekordbox account, I activated my creative plan, and then I turned on Cloud Library Sync. That means instantly my Rekordbox database would start to download, Cloud Library Sync indicator would start ticking away, and all the metadata would come down, and so would the tracks that have been uploaded into the cloud. So let me jump into my memoir playlist. Yeah. Now, I said it looks like an exact clone. That's because there is some differences. Now, the tracks that have a broken cloud next to them, that's actually slightly fainter. It's very hard to tell unless you're making an A/B comparison between machines, but this is slightly fainter than on the main machine because these tracks are actually, well, it tells me if I hover my mouse over it, this track is stored on another computer or mobile device. That means these tracks are not available for playback on this machine. If I throw this up onto there, you get the warning error, load error, this file could not be found. That's because it hasn't been uploaded to the cloud yet. However, the tracks that I did upload are available for playback on this machine. It's quite a simple operation. Drag this into the player window, and it loads up straight away. So this is available for playback, editing, playlist creation, hot queue editing, beat grid amendments, cue point amendments, everything you could do in your main machine, you can do on this machine. It's an exact clone of that. And of course, any changes we make will automatically be synced every 30 seconds to the cloud and will correspond on all other sync devices. So it's really simple. It's easy to get to grips with. Anyone who's ever tried to migrate their Rekordbox database in the past and had challenges with that, all of them issues are now a thing of the past because we're finally in the cloud territory, and managing our collection and our database across multiple devices in such a simple way. So like I said, if that's one use case, managing migrating your database across to a new machine. Second use case for artists who are touring and want to use multiple machines. This is such a streamlined way of working. And just for a backup as well, this becomes such a more efficient way of backing up your collection as opposed to keeping it on hard disk. Back up all your stuff into the cloud. It's safe in the knowledge that it's stored up there, regardless of if you lose your machine, regardless of if you lose your external hard disk. Your track collection and your playlist collection will always be there when you log back